Hey there, this is Bo coming to you from the Ameridroid Mini Lab / Electrical Closet. Alright, today we are unboxing and setting up an ODROID-XU4. This is so that you can see what is involved in setting it up, and if it doesn't work right, how to know that it's not working right. Okay, so ODROID-XU4 comes with this handy getting started guide. Explains what you'll need, username, password, and some useful information about the board itself. All right, so we can set that aside for now. Of course, it's good for you to read that. And the Odroid itself comes in this handy anti-static bag. I'll just toss that over there. Okay, so first things first, let us use the eMMC first. We will plug that into the board right there, and we will make sure that the eMMC switch is, the boot switch is set to eMMC and not microSD. Alright, so we'll set it to eMMC, and now we will take the power supply. 5 volt 4 amp comes with your ODROID-XU4 when you buy it. Okay, plug it into our power strip, and before I plug it in, I'm going to hook up the standard size HDMI cable. Alright, plug in the XU4. You should see the power light come on immediately, the red light. And there it is, and then the blue light. The fan will spin initially. And there we have the OS booting up. And the Odroid View actually acts as a pretty good mirror. So in order to control it, I'm going to take this keyboard and mouse dongle. See, the fan just shut off because it doesn't need the fan anymore. The processor is not that hot. So now that I plug that in, the mouse should immediately become active, and there it is. So log in. You don't have to put in a login when you start, but if you want to do anything involving root access, then yes, you'll have to use the root password. The root user is Odroid, and the password is Odroid. So the first thing you want to do is run Odroid utility. And there, of course, we need the password, so let me grab my keyboard. Thankfully, it runs on the same dongle, so I don't have to use two dongles. ODROID. All right, there we go. And so we'll want to use the down arrows to get to resize your root partition. Do we want to continue? Yes. Okay, please reboot to take effect. Tab, arrow, exit, enter. Okay, enter. So now what we need to do is go to System and shut down and restart. So that's always a good idea. The first thing to do when you get your eMMC or microSD module is to run Odroid utility and expand the root partition, because that will give you the full-size partition. Otherwise, you'll only get a part, the initial part, and you will run out of memory pretty quickly if you do any updates or big software installs. So that's all it took to reboot it. So because I'm not going to do anything else with it right now, I'm going to go ahead and shut down. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I will demonstrate using the microSD card. So here we are. It goes in the top side. And you'll want to make sure this time that it is on the microSD side, not the eMMC side. Okay, so plug that in. And if I can get this in there we go. So you'll see the blue light start flashing. That means that the bootloader has loaded and the kernel is running. Now you'll see. By the way, the little 8 Android bot images up there show 8 cores in the XU4 are currently active. Alright. And again, we get to the login screen. Of course, at this point, you are going to want to also run the Odroid utility because we've switched to a different media. In this case, the microSD card. Okay? But we already showed that, so we're not going to do that again. Shut down. All right. So once that completely shuts down, you will want to unplug both the HDMI and the power. Make sure the red light's off. A lot of times the HDMI cable will have a return power feed in it, and that's not good if the board is still under power when you're switching hardware. So we put the 8 gig eMMC. You see we just snap it on there. So the white dot in this case is Android. So we'll go ahead and plug that in. Oh, and look, I forgot to switch it to eMMC. So there we go. eMMC. And see, because I didn't have the HDMI unplugged, it didn't reboot. Because it was getting reverse power from the HDMI cable. Okay, so there we go. Blue light's on solid, that means that the bootloader was found. And when it switches to the blinking, that means that the kernel is loaded. Now Android's a bit different of a beast, because the first time that it starts up, it is going to be resizing the partition automatically. So even though that light is blinking and the red light is on, there won't be anything on the screen for a while. So while it's doing that, let's take a look at the case. So a new thing with the ODROID-XU4 is that you can buy different colored tops and bottoms of the case. Oh look, Android's already up. Okay, so it's done resizing and everything. And it's requesting super user access. I usually tell it to remember it. But in this case, we'll just do it this time only. And allow. It's kind of hard to see with the glare here, but there you go. Touch the, so click OK there. So that is your standard Android type screen. You can drag and move it around just like you can on an Android phone or tablet. So because this is not a phone, it's going to act more like a tablet. And even if you look in the about, it'll say it's a tablet. So this is the part where you choose let's see if we can get a little less glare here. There we go. So there's the home screen right there. So now we're back to your standard Android interface. And we haven't hooked up a Wi-Fi adapter yet or an Ethernet cable, so it's not going to be able to do much. But hey, we've got one right here. So this is the Odroid Wi-Fi Module 4, and we can just plug it into the USB 3 port. Now you'll see it won't, the light on it does not turn on immediately. So the first thing we have to do is we have to turn on, I should have shown you that from the beginning. So you drag down from here, and you've got the Wi-Fi just turned off. We'll turn it on. Searching for Wi-Fi networks. And then we've got some choices here. In case you want to hack our free Wi-Fi, today's password is birdcall. All right. Connect. Obtaining IP address. Connected. All right. So again, we will go back home. And now if we go to Google, let's type in microSD. Just like that. All right, now to shut off your Android. Oh, by the way, once you have it connected, the blue light will come on the Wi-Fi module 4. And that heartbeat will continue to flash for the entire time that the Odroid is running, unless you've locked it up. And by you, I mean whatever it is that decided to lock it up. Okay, so we're back there, and click this to power it off. Power off. Okay, now while it's doing that, I'm going to disconnect the Wi-Fi module. Take the screws out of the case. And this only goes on one direction because it does have cutouts for different things. I believe that's the correct way. All right, then we take the top. Okay, I think I did get it on the bottom on backwards. They are very close to each other. It'll work both ways, but one way will work better. So, disconnect these things. And that's how it looks if you choose the blue case and the clear top. Of course, the black bottom looks great. If you don't want to see all the internal components so much, you can use the black top or the blue top. So anyway, that's pretty much that. It even comes with a few screws here on the XU4, one here and one there. I believe that is all that's needed to hold it together, but they usually throw in an extra screw or two. Oh yes, that's correct. You can also two of these screws, these here, screw in from the top, and the other two screws screw in from the bottom. So you screw in these two from the top first, put the top on, and then screw in the other two from the bottom. All right, so that is the ODROID-XU4 coming at you from the Ameridroid Mini Lab / Electrical Closet. Have a great day.